Okay, we have an 800K disk drive, and we're going to swap the head and look at a few other things while we're going. So, first, you start out with a disk drive. As you can see, when a disk is inserted, assembly drops. And in order to do this, we need to drop the assembly without putting a disk in. And you do that by simply pushing forward on this right here, and that will drop straight down. Again, that's the small little dot right there. It may go slow because if your drive is not oiled, it should go without hesitation like that. After that, you want to remove the retainer that raises the head. So you do that by lifting up on this little tab and pushing back and removing it out of there. To put it back on, set it down back here and pull forward, and it snaps in. Okay. Then you can put the drive back up again so that you can remove the ribbon cables, the mylar cables from the sockets. These just come out by going straight up. It's kind of best to use your hands, although if you can't reach that second one like that, you can always grab them with the pliers and pull up. You'll have a lot less risk of worrying about trying to break it if you pull it up with your hands, because you'll actually stop, but you may pull that up and rip that. So you don't want to make sure it doesn't get pulled out too fast. And that's it there. Now you can put this back down again. To remove the head, there's two screws. You don't want to touch this one. This brass colored one here, just leave that one alone. That is the alignment for the head. As you can see, the head is in there now. To move the head back and forth, you can lift up on the lower edge here just a little bit and slide it. I'm going to slide it all the way forward. And you see two screws here, two black screws that are embedded down in there. Magnetic screwdriver helps, because if you drop it in there, don't worry about it. It's not going to do anything. Same thing. Take that out. And now, to take the head out, all you have to do is lift it up a little bit, kind of slide it out. As you can see, there is a flat tab and a peg sticking out of there. This is the jack screw. The head goes in like this. So now put the head out. Replace the head by doing the same thing backwards. Just put that in there, and you want to put the flat tab. I'm going to put the flat tab under the jack screw and the tab over, the peg over. Move that back a little bit, and the rod needs to go down in the, see where it's up against the edge here? So now to put the screws back in. Put the back one in first, just so it's barely tight. Then you can make sure that the rod is pushed all the way up. Put the other screw back in there. To tighten them, once it gets near the end, another quarter turn. And that's it. The head is now reinstalled. Slides back and forth again by lifting this side. Okay, I'm trying to show you how to not do something else that we're going to do in a minute here. That goes back and forth, and now you can raise this up again. You're going to make sure that you have the cables not reversed. They will go in, but it'll look a little strange. To put them back in, I realized that wasn't on the camera, so let's go back here. Okay, to put the cables back in, make sure they're not reversed, where they're not flipped over each other. Okay, there we go. So I just did it just so I can show you how to undo it. Just put them back. Back one in to the slot, and the forward one into the slot. That's it. Lower the drive, return the riser. As if you do it the right direction. So that the head now works, and that's it. Head's changed. A couple other things we'll look at while we're here is the red label. Any of these numbers, if the serial number and or the thing is red, that's a red label drive. Otherwise it's all black. That's the black label. How to really tell the difference, and I don't usually look at the sticker, I look underneath the drive. Opposite of the 20-pin connector is a pattern that looks similar to an IC chip, and in the center here is a large solid area, a land area. The red labeled PCB, the revision that's a red labeled drive, would have a solid land area. The revision of the PCB that does not have this solid area is from a black serial numbered drive. It usually has a couple lines going through here instead. It's not solid. That is the difference. And those drives are from the Mac 128 or the Mac 512 era, 512E, Mac Plus. So they first came out in the Mac Plus, and then were back ported to the Mac to the 512 as an upgrade. With that. Okay. Something else we'll talk about is if you do something silly like this and bend that head up, and now look at it, it's not working, and you go, now what are you going to do? Well, fix that the same way. First you've got to take the head back off, so take the head back off, and that's why I tell people, do not mess with the head. So we'll take that off. And how to fix that, as you can see, it's sprung there. So how you want to fix that is, you don't want to smush down on this, but you want to apply some pressure here, and you're going to lift. You can do this inside while it's in the drive too, but I'm showing this as an example here. You want to lift in these two spots so that you can retension that. Now you can see it's closed again. And it wants to stay there. That's all. Usually I use a flat screwdriver and just put it in there, kind of rotate and let it lift up, but you're actually lifting up right in here and retensioning in here. And again, if we put that head back,